Pilates versus weights. All this talk of toning. What about running? From an athlete focused on performance, to a bodybuilder obsessed with putting on muscle, to being anti-weights, to embracing my sculpt era, to now being someone that does a little bit of it all. What was the best and what was the worst of all the different phases? And how do I set up my workout routines now?
Over the last couple of years, I've developed a workout routine that has 5 main components. Number 1, strength or sculpt. Number 1 actually goes by 2 names, and I'm gonna give you the preference of what you wanna call it. Happy Monday, you beautiful people. Mondays, sculpt and stretch workout. So first I start with the mobility warm-up.
I do 3 resistance workouts a week, usually weights at the gym, which are a full body push or pull movement style routine. Sometimes I will swap one of these with a Pilates workout that incorporates weights or the reformer. Each workout starts with a 10 minutes-ish mobility sequence.
Second, I have a customized design for my own movement patterns program that I've had for years. It stays the same because this is the unsexy part, and it's either a push day or a pull day, and I do that 3 times a week. Then I always finish off with like a core posture mobility hybrid, which is kind of Pilates. Tight today. I either call it strength or sculpt. For myself, 2 to 3 times a week, I try to do some form of resistance training. That can mean the form of weight training. I do 2 to 3 workouts a week that are more of a push-pull type full body. It's more correlated to different movement patterns. Or another form of resistance training, Pilates, which can be using a reformer, resistance bands, smaller weights. Both are a form of resistance training.
I thought that you would understand. It's progressive resistance.
And I call it strength or sculpt because I don't want to discriminate. If you're a girl that wants to call it sculpting because you're like, you know what, that resonates with me, do it, call it sculpt. If you're a girl who's like, I kind of want to be more athletic, powerful, strong, call it strength. Just do some form of resistance training. That's number 1.
Good morning. I'm on my way to my 3rd component of my workout routine. Every week I try to get 1 to 10 minutes of max out heart rate exertion.
So there's something you can do in tries. About 30 seconds, single 30 seconds, so we have that speed for a 5, 8, 5, and a 9, 5.
I usually do my stretching after my runs or after my resistance training, just simply because that's the only place it really fits into my routine and daily schedule. Some days I get 1 to 2 minutes, some days I get a full 30 minutes.
Number 2, stretch. Mobility, yoga, flexibility, whatever you want to call it. Some seasons I fall off and I'm only doing it once or twice a week. In my ideal world, I'm doing a 5 to 10 minute mobility warm up, and then afterwards I'm doing 5 to 30 minutes of stretching after every single workout. Ideally 5 to 7 times a week. That is my absolute goal. And I feel so much more better physically and mentally when I include this. Wednesday morning, I'm gonna go for a run and then a Pilates class. Normally, I'd go for a run outside, but I've been waking up at 5 a.m. because of jet lag and because I kind of like it.
Our lifestyles are probably comparable.
And it's pitch black and I get scared, so I'm going on the treadmill. Run is done. That rhymed, call me a rapper. And now we're off to Pilates, like the green juicing that girl we are trying to embrace.
Number 3, sweat. I consider this my like zone 2 cardio. This is getting your heart rate elevated. This isn't max out. This is going for a run. So that's what my run streak is really. Middle intensity workouts, whether it be a 15 to 30 minute run, it might be a Barry's boot camp, it might be a spin, but I'm trying to do that about 3 times a week, sometimes 4, but something to get my heart rate elevated. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Have You Been Paying Attention to YouTubers' Ad Reads? The show that tests have you clicked skip for 90 seconds in the middle of every YouTube video, or have you been paying attention? With the grand prize revealed at the end for getting all 4 questions right. Question number 1, which of these would help feed a ravenous family of 5? A, SeatGeek, B, Honey, C, HelloFresh, or D, Vessi? No. Even though Winnie the Pooh would say B is the answer, the correct answer is C, HelloFresh. Question 2. AG1 is A, an excellent way to get a discount at concerts. B, helps you design a website. C, a daily nutrient and gut health support. D, get you a therapist in the privacy of your own home. The correct answer is C. It gives you the nutrients your body needs every single day. Question number 3. What does AG1 replace? A, it replaces your partner using your razor to shave their balls. B, it replaces old school books with audiobooks. C, replaces your need to hire a web designer. Or D, replaces key health products into one single scoop. The correct answer is D. AG1 combines 9 health products, replacing your multivitamin, prebiotic, probiotic, multi-mineral, immune support, and many more. Question D, what is the one thing that is always in my carry-on when I travel abroad? Is it A, Skillshare to pass the time? B, AG1 travel packs? C, Vessi waterproof shoes in case it rains? Or D, a Helix mattress in case I need a nap in the airport? And of course, the correct answer is AG1. I have not traveled in 2 years without having it in my carry-on. Congratulations, Melissa, Nona, Rebecca, Matthew, and Nick. I heard all of you got all 4 questions correct, so I will gift you the grand prize. And for all of you that got it wrong, I'll never know. So you will always get the grand prize. C's do get degrees. If you want improved digestion, sustained energy, clarity and focus, healthy aging and recovery, I got the solution for you. And your grand prize is behind this door. Dun, 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 dun. By using my link down below, you will get 5 free travel packets and a 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2 with your first purchase of AG1, because as the tagline of the show goes, you can't put a price tag on your health. I should definitely not leave plastic in the microphone. Good morning. I'm just about to head out on a run. So I usually go on 3 runs a week. 2 are short, 1 to 5 kilometer, 1 is longer, 6 to 10. I'm not too exact about it. There's a lot more optimal ways. I just look at my volume for the all week. I'm not really training for distance, I'm just training. I will update you guys soon on my run streak. Sometimes I swap a Barry's class for one of my shorter runs. And then I do try to just like sprint for a couple seconds each one.
Should you run or lift weights first? Personally, I believe you should prioritize whichever means more to you. Personally, running is a bigger priority to me right now than lifting weights, so I run first and use it as kind of my warm-up, and I feel I lift better once I'm fully warmed up after a run. If cardio before a weight session makes your weight suffer, don't do that, especially if your priority is weight training. 2 weeks ago, I did weights in the gym, and then this week I actually went and did a Legree reformer class with Ash. That's why I just call it resistance training. It's pretty much just lifting, pushing heavy objects that result in progressive overload. You can get a lot more progressive overload over time with weights than Pilates, so that doesn't mean there isn't resistance training benefits of Pilates, and my friend Ash invited me to it, so we went.
4, speed. 1 to 10 minutes a week, I want to do something maxing out my heart rate. That's in the 180 beats per minute and above. Now, I don't want to give specifics because that really depends on your age and physical ability and all that, but this is where a lot of people get it wrong. I like the idea of doing zone 2, a bit more middle zone for longer distance, and only like 1 to 10 minutes of a max out sprint. We kind of been in this weird thing. It went from like HIIT being really in, and then it was weight training, and now it's Pilates. And I feel if you don't have a good balance of it all, you'll lead to some form of overtraining, whether it be over flexible, too much cortisol built up. You kind of have to have a nice balance. And this is what has taken me time to get. And with HIIT, I love a Barry's boot camp. Don't get me wrong, I love a spin class. But the idea that you should be doing like 60 minutes of HIIT is no, you can't. Like pro athletes can't do that. That's why sports like hockey and that, they're only on the ice for like 30 seconds a minute because it's like max out. You should only be able to do a full on sprint for 10, 20 seconds. And after that, you're going into more of that mid zone. So for me, I'm actually gonna be talking in next week's video, same about Andrew Huberman. A lot of the research shows just all the benefits that you get from doing that max heart rate training for the average person, not a professional athlete, can tap out at around 10 minutes a week. So that can be like 3-minute sessions. And that's kind of all you need to do. Do that and some lower intensity things versus like just destroying yourself.
Robert Cheria. Oh.
There's so many girls out there right now, and this is my big fear, who are like in that weight training HIIT CrossFit world where like you're doing 5 days a week of max out hour, 2 hours of just killing your body and not recovering and not feeling it. Like a universal overtraining. So now we found Pilates. We're all like, oh, my body's just like, oh. But that doesn't mean the weight training was bad. So let's not cancel weight training and HIIT training. We just need to do it in an adequate amount for your own well-being. And speaking of well-being,
Fridays in terms of creativity are very taxing on me, so a tough workout would take away from that. But I still need some movement to get the juices flowing, so I usually just start my Fridays off with a hot girl walk. Then after work I end it with,
I am at House Concepts and about to do yoga class. I read this book called Burnout. I'm pretty sure the textbook definition of burnout now, constant work without reward. One of the things that resonated with me is like, she said, after you do a bunch of work, just like dance. I know it sounds so bizarre, but just like let out energy, move your body. So what I've been doing on Fridays is booking a class at 5 p.m. So either yoga or a spin class. When I just need like to zen out the yoga, but if I need something intense, I go to a spin class. Honestly, I barely put any resistance on. It's barely a workout. It's just more so like the blaring music and kind of dancing. I've been doing that to like finish the burnout cycle. Creating a few circles to release any tension. Exhale, rounding your back. Number 5, social. Social, or I would also debate you could call it sport. Humans are meant to play. You get evolution where you go to anywhere in the world without, like, that's just what we do. It's gonna look different for every single person. For me, social means once, twice a week doing a fitness class with my girlfriends. And you've heard it here once and you've heard it here again. I'll keep saying it because that's what I've done before I got sport. I don't really have sport right now because unfortunately I would love to join a rec league, would love, but I just unfortunately travel too much. Even in the summertime, me and my boyfriend will go play paddle, or maybe some girls will go play tennis. It's so enjoyable, and there's just something about human nature, community. So have a friend, try once a week, join a class, do a workout together. I just find group classes a bit easier, because if you're like me and you do like a weight training session with a friend, you spend half the time chatting, you don't get a workout. Me and my best friends are in our fit girl wellness era. And now, trust me, we still love a Saturday night out, hitting the bars. Today, I'm gonna go do spin with Ash, and that's kind of our little Saturday routine.
I got this for you.
Now, before you come at me for not having rest days, there's an explanation for that. One is I have this thing called life and being an adult. And so every week I probably miss 1, sometimes 2 of these workouts. So I don't really plan rest days. It's just kind of like Wednesday comes, I'm like, I've got way too much work to do. I'm just skipping the gym. I'll go for a light walk instead. Sundays, I don't like to go to the gym though. That's my one thing. So I can just feel sinful.
it's cheesy, but really Sundays are just me moving in nature. 99.9% of the time, that just means a long walk. If I have the chance to go on a hike with friends, I'll do that. For example, a few Sundays ago, me and Megs went out into a forest just outside of Sundsvall, and we just hiked among the mountains. I fully believe in rest days, but I do find going on a light walk on Sundays actually helps me recover way more than just sitting around on a couch all day.
And overtraining. Overtraining is super complicated. I think there's a big confusion about it, and we can dive into that in a whole separate video. I do a lot of recovery practices to make sure I'm not overtraining. I'm never drastically increasing my volume, like adding a whole extra leg day or a ton of weight or a ton of running. Like, it's always like really gradual, little building over time to get to where I am. So if you're looking at this and you're like, you move every day, I get it. It's annoying. I built to this. The biggest thing too is recovery. My bedtime routine, my night routine is so dialed in. It's the foundation to everything. So if you guys want like a nighttime routine / my recovery protocol, if this video gets 8,000 likes, I will do that video. So hit like, otherwise I'm just like, no one cares. And then I won't do the video and save us both the trouble. So, my 5 components to a workout routine: strength / sculpt, stretch, sweat, speed, social / sport. You might just do 1 a week. That'd be your thing. Maybe 10 minutes of each thing every day. Maybe resistance training once, twice a week, sports once a week. Like, you gotta figure out what works for you. And that's why I didn't really give specifics in this, because a lot of my workout is catered towards me specifically. I really will always struggle giving the exact workouts just because I don't want someone to copy it. And like I always say, I have APT, anterior pelvic tilt. You could have the complete opposite. So all my posture correcting exercises could harm you. Just think of those 5 brackets and just try to add a little bit in. And if you're like, oh, I don't have that, just start with 5 minutes and add on from there and build a routine that matches your lifestyle, your goals. And that's for longevity, that's for performance, and just general wellness, well-being. I've worn this shirt too many times. It's just really comfy and it's my vibe right now, but it's kind of cringy. It seems like this is a merch. It's not. Is this tacky? Oh my God, I'm sorry if there was a siren in the back. Can you please stop? But moral of the story, have a great day. Go pet a dog. Love you guys. Bye. Sick of metal. Look how fancy these are now though. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.